In this video, I will explain how to create a Bitcoin address with 16-sided dice. A 16-sided dice, here's an example, has values 1 till 16. You always need to subtract 1 to get the hexadecimal representation. 4 bits has in total 16 combinations. Here is an overview and you can clearly see there are 16 combinations, which means the value of one 16-sided dice represents 4 bits. If you throw a 16-sided dice twice, the two dice values represents 1 byte. Here's an example. Here's a 16-sided dice with the value 1. You have to subtract 1 to get the hexadecimal representation. So 1 minus 1 is 0 and the hexadecimal representation is 0. And here is the binary representation. If you throw the same dice again and the value is now 14, you have to subtract 1 to get the value 13, and the hexadecimal representation is D, and the binary representation is this value. To create a 32 bytes random number, you need to throw one 16-sided dice. 32 times 2 is 64 times. If you have 4 16-sided dice, you only need to throw these 4 dice. 64 divided by 4 is 16 times to get a 32 bytes random number. If you use more than one 16-sided dice, use different color dice. Use each color in a particular order when creating the random number. A 32 bytes random number has in total 2 to the power of 256 combinations. 2 to the power of 256 is this large number, which I cannot pronounce. This value has 78 digits and is approximately 10 to the power of 77. The number of atoms in the entire observable universe is estimated to be within the range of 10 to the power of 78 to 10 to the power of 82. Because of the above mentioned, when a Bitcoin client creates a Bitcoin address, it never checks if this address already exists, because it is improbable that it will happen, but it is not impossible. This is an example of the 16-sided dice. On one side there are odd numbers, and on the other side there are even numbers. The lowest number is 1, and the highest number is 16. I have 4 dice with different colors: blue, green, yellow, and black. I'm using 4 dice to reduce the amount of throws. Here's a piece of paper where I've written down the color of the dice: blue, green, yellow, and black, corresponding with these dice. I will throw these dice in total 16 times. Each dot represents 1 throw. Blue is 4, green is 6, yellow is 12, and black is 6. Blue is 6, green is 15, yellow is 11, and black is 12. So these are all my throws. The random number is this row followed by this row followed by this row, followed by this row. Open your browser and go to www.mobilefish.com. Click on Services. Click on Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Tools. Scroll down the page. Look for Cryptocurrency Address Generator and Validator and press this link. This is the Cryptocurrency Address Generator and Validator page. You can also find this web address in the description below. Select cryptocurrency network Bitcoin. Press the clear button. We are going to use method 2. The value what we are going to enter here are decimal values. So this option is correct. These are my dice values. I will enter these dice values in these blocks. I've entered my blue dice values in this row. I've entered my green dice values in this row. I've entered my yellow dice values in this row. I've entered my black dice values in this row. Next, I will hide the details. This randomly generated number, created with 4 16-sided dices, generated this hexadecimal value. This hexadecimal value is also my private key. This private key creates this Bitcoin address. Here is my public key compressed and my private key vault input format compressed.